Alrighty guys, in today's demonstration we are going to look at how to create a 3D object using different colored pencils. So we're just going to start off with a nice simple cylinder. So we're going to have an oval on the top and some straight sides like this, and then a little curved base, just like this. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to use these different colored pencils here for our tones, as well as some black. So we're going to start off with the mid-tones. Now, when you're using colored pencils, you don't really want to start with the darkest or the lightest. You want to start in the middle. And so we want to go, the theory is, we're going to go from dark on the edge to light in the middle. We're going to fade around like that, and then dark on that edge as well. So it's going to fade from dark to light to dark to show the shape of that object really well. So what we're going to do is just start off nice and lightly. Now you might notice that at the moment my pencil marks are kind of running in the same angle as the oval. So that's called a contour line. When your lines follow the shape like this, follow the shape of the object, they're called contour lines. It's just going to help with that illusion a little bit. And whenever you're using colored pencils, you want to start off nice and softly, start off nice and light. You don't want to overdo it. So I'm just going to put down some color there. That's our kind of mid color. Then I'm going to start working in with my darker color next. Alright, so this is a darker blue. This time I'm actually going to work this way, so I'm going to work along the edge, and I'm going to fade out towards the purple. So the method is pressing down harder on the edge and just pressing lighter as I move towards the middle. Now I can also add in some sort of contour lines as well. Cool, that looks good. And I can do that in reverse as well, so I'm just going to work down this side. And just pressing lighter as I come out into the purple. We sort of want to overlap these colors, and that's actually why I chose these colors, because blues and purples are harmonious colors. So that means that they work well together, and also means that they're beside each other on the color wheel. So blue and purple, yeah, right next to each other. Now I'm just going to darken up the very edges a little bit more. So I'm just going to add another layer like this. Still not pressing really hard, because I'm going to work back in with my purple. Yeah, nice, that looks good. So you can already see that illusion, of the darker edges and the lighter middle, making it look more 3D. Alright, now we're going to work in with the blue. So I'm just going to kind of go through the middle here with the light blue. And I'm kind of overlapping the purple as I go. Try and stay in the lines if you can. I think this pencil's getting a bit short. I might need one of those fancy pencil extenders. Cool. Okay. Now you guessed it, coming back with the purple. So this time we're going to be a little bit kind of heavier as we work over both the light and the dark blue. Really just trying to disguise the change where it changes from blue to purple. That would be the train going past. Hello, train. The cool thing about being right beside the train tracks is you get to hear the train every day. Now this is also where the better quality your pencils are, the better it'll get from here. So these are okay pencils, they're not like the best ones, but you can see that there's a bit of overlapping going on here. Okay, nice. Alright, and now I'm going to switch back to my light blue, and I'm just going to work back over the purple a bit more and just extend that light blue out to the middle, to the edges. You can see it's kind of just a real layering thing, building up. Nice. Okay, and then I'm just going to work in a little bit with my black here. So you don't want to be too heavy-handed with the black, but I'm just going to go down the edge of here with my black and just fade it into a little bit of that blue. See how that just adds a bit more contrast? It really makes it pop, doesn't it? That little bit of black. I could do that with a really strong dark blue as well if we wanted to. There we go, nice. And I think what I'll do for this, particular case here as well is I'm just going to add a little bit of purple to the top. Now the whole object here is rounded, so it's why it goes from dark to light to dark. But the top of it is actually flat, so I just want a flat tone. You don't want it to be blended at all. You don't want it lighter and darker on different sides. Just want one nice flat tone. And then I think I'll just sharpen up along that edge there as well. Yeah, nice. Same with the bottom. Alright, cool. So that's our cylinder shape, and that just shows you the blending between the colors. Alright, let's try something a little bit different now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is draw a circle and turn it into a ball. So I'd like to get a nice kind of round shape. Try and move your whole arm when you get a circle. Don't just move your fingers or your wrist. And then with a circle, the way it works is you want to have, you've got, if that's our circle, you've got a light source. So let's say the light source is off here. Okay, so what you want to do with a circle, okay, so what we want to do with a circle is, let's say if this is our shape here, you're going to have a small light source up in the corner of where the light's coming from. So say the light's coming from here, it's going to be lightest in that point, and then it's going to fade away to darkest on the opposite point here. So we're just going to imagine like a light source around here. We don't want to draw it in because we don't want it to be really obvious. And I'm just going to grab some random colours here. Let's go kind of oranges and pinks. I think that'll look quite nice. And then let's actually use a bit of a brown tone as well for our shadow tone. Cool. So with this one, what I'm going to do is again start off with kind of the mid-tones. So I'm going to start off with my sort of orangey colour. And this one's a little bit harder. We need to work our way around. So instead of doing kind of like really straight tone bars, this is quite straight from like dark to light, but we're going to be blending around in a circle with this one. So starting off nice and light, and the idea you want to get across is that there's a smaller area of dark up here, but there is still an area of dark. And then as you come around, there's more dark on this right hand side. Yeah, cool. So that's just our kind of starting off tone. Now let's work into let's get our next lightest tone. So this is just a kind of shade lighter. Probably doesn't really make a lot of difference since the color's not that different. That's alright. And then if we work in with our lighter tone, just want to try and keep the lines kind of nice and soft and nice and rounded. So you don't want to be pressing really firmly at this point. It's probably easier too if you have got a nice rounded end on your pencil. These pencils are quite sharp. I've recently sharpened them, so it just takes a while to build up some, a nice flat piece on the end of the pencil. So cool. So we've got some light tone in here. And we can even use this method of kind of going round and round, and then it's just like a kind of whirlwind coming out, overlapping some of that earlier color. Cool. Alright, so let's work in back in with our kind of orangey color. So it's really much better here to just try and softly build up the layers rather than go too hard too soon, because it's super hard to back off once you've added too much pencil on. You can see how the intensity is just starting to build up there as well. And as you come out, you can sort of add a bit more tone in there, make it a bit stronger. It's going to end up being quite defined around the edge, so it's fine to do that there. Yeah, it's getting better, eh? Just kind of working around, I'm looking at bits that aren't quite blended nicely, and then just slowly working over those to build them up. Alright, let's bring in a little bit of this brown colour here around the edge. Brown's quite a nice, if you're working with earthy tones like reds and oranges, brown is quite a nice tone to use for the dark because it's in the same range. Black's sort of a cooler colour that goes well with blues and purples, but browns is a nice earthy kind of tone. So again, I'm thinking about harmonious colour range. So I'm just blending that brown into the red or the orange. Could actually come in with some deeper red around the edge. That would look quite nice, eh? Quite a slow process. And I guess if you get more experience, you can kind of do it a little bit faster, but actually you don't want to rush too quickly, or else you'll make the tones too dark. Alright, cool. So that's looking pretty good, but let's see what happens if we get an even lighter tone. What should we work with? Let's get an even brighter yellow, hey? And let's work that yellow really into this light tone here. Starting off in a circle and fading out. And it gives it a nice pop, doesn't it? Quite almost a yellow glow. It's almost as if our light source over here is yellow and it's sort of adding that colour to the shape. Nice. And then we work back a little bit harder with that orange colour over the brown. You can see what happens. Some nice blending. So if I was drawing this without the camera here, I'd probably be turning the page around quite a lot. You might do that if it's nice and easy for you and nice and comfortable. But I'm just holding it in the same position and then just sort of moving my wrist around different angles. Cool. Alright, let's use the brown to create a shadow. So if we're thinking about the light source coming from that top left, the shadow's going to kind of come out from here in an oval shape like that, something like that. And we're just going to bring it out. If I was doing this with graphite, I'd probably try and smudge it a bit. I wonder if that would work. Let's try. Use your finger, give it a little bit of a smudge to soften it. Yeah, that sort of works, eh? Nice. Shouldn't be too much contrast in the shadow unless it's like a real sharp, dark shadow. But that's quite nice. That just adds a little bit of a 3 dimensions. And then what I can do is I can just add a little line in behind here. It just kind of places our objects in a space. So now they're sitting like on a table or a desk. And then this, this is our wall and this is our table. This one's a little bit hard because the light's coming straight ahead, or straight up, so the shadow's going to be behind this object. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. We spoke about kind of layering up the pencil. We talked about having the light source just off to the side, having a larger dark to light blend here and a smaller dark to light blend here. And then also we talked about using harmonious colors to blend to make these objects look cool. Great, thanks for watching.